Projections 2. I created this video in response to a request from a student. He wanted to know how to do R and S from a Newman projection. This is a challenging task. Keeping in mind, to do R and S, it's easiest if the number 4 group is on a dash. Another way to look at that is the number 4 group is sticking away from you. Before we start, let's identify the stereocenters on these 3 molecules. There are 4 groups that are different on this carbon. There's this iso group. There is a methyl. There is this ethyl something group, and the back carbon, which doesn't match any of those descriptions. The back carbon is not a stereocenter. The back carbon has 2 methyls. That is why. The molecule below, the back carbon is the stereocenter. It has a hydrogen. It has a 2-fluoroethyl. It has something like a nonyl or an octyl. And it has this front carbon, which is none of those that I just described. The front carbon looks like it may be a stereocenter, but trust me, these are both pentyl groups on the front carbon. I saved the best for last. On this example, both the front carbon and the back carbon are stereocenters. Let's deal with the first molecule. The longest chain numbers this way. Carbon 1 is one of those methyl groups. Carbon 2 is here. I've learned from my mistake before. I'm going to write myself a note. There is a 2-methyl. Carbon 3, carbon 4, holding 7 fingers up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the stereocenter is carbon 12. Thirteen, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Carbon 16 has an ethyl. We're well on our way. In fact, we can come up with the name without the stereocenter right now. Ethyl before methyl. There are in fact this methyl, this methyl, this methyl, and this methyl. The back carbon is going to be a very interesting group. 13, I'm going to write it here, needs a parenthesis because it's got a lot of stuff on it. Sorry, 12. Directly behind 12 is a group. The longest chain runs here. Everything behind carbon 12 is a single group. What's the maximum length of the group? Well, the carbon behind 12 is the first carbon of the group, and one of these carbons is the second carbon of the group. This carbon has 2 bromos on it. So if I call this a ethyl group, it is a 2,2,2-dibromo, 1,1-dimethyl group. There we go. So, naming the molecule, we're talking about octadecane. The first letter alphabetically of this group is dibromo with a B. Off of carbon 12. Ethyl goes before methyl. How many methyls are there? I'm reminding myself there is a 2-methyl here, and there's a 12-methyl here. 2,12 dimethyl octadecane. Let's verify that we have all the groups. The carbon behind 12 is a group. It is attached to 12, and it has this name. 16 is here. It has an ethyl, and then the rest of the chain. Carbon 2 has a methyl. Carbon 12 has a methyl. These methyls are included in this group name here. Everything but the stereocenter has been accounted for. One thing I notice I neglected in this group name here is that it is a 2-carbon group, as I said. 2-carbon groups are called ethyl. So the carbon behind 12 is the first carbon of ethyl. The carbon with the 2 bromines is the second carbon of ethyl. The carbon behind 12 has 2 methyls attached. That's where this comes from. On to the stereocenter. To me, it is a good idea to put your eye here. That way, the number 4 group on the stereocenter, the methyl, is on a dash. How do I know it's on a dash? Well, it is definitely sticking away from my eye. The number 1 group on the stereocenter is the back carbon. It is a carbon that has nothing but carbons attached to it. The number 2 group on the stereocenter is this carbon. It hits a branch after 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. The number 3 group does not hit a branch for more than 7 carbons. Let's draw what we see. I hope you agree that carbon 12 would be on the left and the back C would be on the right. Your eye is right in between them. Left being the ball, to the right being what's hidden by the ball. Straight up off of 12 is the 3 group. Downwards and away from your eye to the left is the 4 group. Towards your eye and downwards to the right is the 2 group. And the back C, we already established, is the 1 group. We are now ready to do the stereo center. Because you selected to put your I where you did, you just have to connect 1, 2, and 3 with an appropriate circle. And it is clearly R. Finishing the name, R. (12,2,2 dibromo 1,1 dimethyl 16 ethyl 2,12 dimethyl octadecane). It just rolls off the tongue. On our next example, clearly I've done a little bit of work since we were paused. I've numbered the chain from 1 to 15. We can come up with the name of the molecule without the stereo center, keeping in mind chain includes the front carbon and does go to the back carbon, which is 7 this time, and 8 comes off the back carbon and we go to 15. So 15 carbons is pentadecane. Let's just put the groups on and adjust the alphabetization as we go. This is a neopentyl group on 6. A CH2 followed by a tert butyl is a neopentyl. It gets alphabetized by N. On this back carbon, which is 7, there's a 2-carbon group, which is an ethyl. That is a fluoro on 2. That goes by fluoro because it is a 2-fluoroethyl group on carbon 7. And there's also a pentyl group. The chain goes here, and there is this carbon up here on 6, which is also a pentyl group. That should go last. Why did I choose to put my I here? Is because the number 4 group on the stereo center, which is the back carbon, has a hydrogen on it, which is clearly number 4. So if I go away from that, that puts the number 4 on a dash. The 1 is the front carbon. It is branched with 3 carbons. The 2 is the carbon in the fluoroethyl group because it has CH2, CH2 fluoro. The 3 has multiple CH2s, then a CH3. And the 4 is an H, as we discussed already. So, looking at the stereo center, which is the back carbon, number 7, the ball will clearly be to the right of my I, the front carbon. On the front carbon, sticking downwards and away from my I, which is a dash, will be the neopentyl. I take that back. Sticking to the right is the front carbon, and we've already accounted for that. We drew it here. We do not have to worry about the neopentyl. This is carbon number 1 on the back carbon. Priority number 1. Priority number 2 is sticking towards your eye and a little below. Priority number 4 is sticking below your eye. Oh, did I just say 2 was sticking towards your eye and put it on a dash? Shame on me. Towards means wedge. I caught that when I realized the dash is away from your eye and below. Number 4. Straight above your eye on the back carbon is the number 8 carbon, is the 3. I am not getting upset about circles anymore. So we can do our stereo center. We judiciously chose to put the number 4 group on a dash. It looks like we're looking at a counterclockwise circle, clockwise circle. 1, 2 to 3, which is R. Looks like the R's are catching up right now. Italicized. Congratulations, you've named the second one. Clearly a lot of work has been done since our last pause. I chose to put the I here, to put the ethyl on the blue stereo center as a dash. We'll have to work on the other stereo center. We have a lot of work to do. When you look at it this way, the left carbon is the front carbon. It is a methyl sticking straight up, an ethyl away from your eyes on a dash, a wedge towards this branched carbon here, and on the back carbon there's a hydrogen sticking straight down. Towards your eye is the isopropyl, and away, which is a dash, is the iso group. I copied the molecule twice because we have 2 stereo centers. Let's deal with the front stereo center. Carbon 1 is this multiple branched group. Priority 1 is this multiple branched group. 2 is this chain that hits a branch. 3 is a chain that doesn't hit a branch. And 4 is a methyl which has no more carbons. We're going to have to do a double switch on this because the methyl is the number 4. Find the 4, switch it with the 3 because that's what's on the dash. The 2 switches with the 1, which means the 2 is no longer on the wedge, it's on the 1 spot, and the 1 is here. Stereo center on 8 is clearly S. And the name S. On the stereo center that is 7, we have an H, which is number 4. We have a carbon that is branched to 3 other carbons, which is 1. A carbon that is branched to 2 carbons, which is 2. And a carbon that is unbranched, which is 3. A double switch is necessary on this carbon as well. The 4 must switch with the 3 because the 3 is on the dash. The 1 must then switch with the 2. This is an S stereo center, thus completing our name. 7s in front. Italics for form. And there you have it. Congratulations. This is much more challenging than any question I would ever put on a test.